Hey everyone, in this video
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Mashpaka. We are in here like Vladimir. So as you see, we're on the last part of our Torah portion. And what I'm doing right now is I'm bringing up some neck acne. All right. So acne keloids. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm gonna see if I can bring this up right here. I'm going to hold on to this. We're just going to kind of hold on to that. Let's just move past it. Yeah. Yeah, so Shabbat Shalom. Why are we looking at back neck acne? Why are we looking at pimples on the back of the my? Thank you, Father, for mercy and grace. Why are we looking at these? Well, because according to what we see, we're about to get into some other stuff. Oh, my. All right, so we have the conference call lined up. I put it up that we'll be starting our Torah portion reading at 7. All right, so we got to get the family and friends back on the conference call. A few of them and such. Let everybody know we back up and jumping. Yeah, so why are we looking at back of the head bumps? Neck bumps. Why? Why are we looking at gonorrhea? Bible verses. What does the Bible say about gonorrhea? Here are 33 verses related to gonorrhea. Not hard at all. I don't know if all these verses comply. I don't know. I have to double check into that. I don't know. You know, I can't tell you why. But what I can do is I can say that not only do we have, hey, Shabbat Shalom, Mark. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Kazak. Let me go ahead and drop that call. Shabbat Shalom, Mark.
Shabbat Shalom, okay.
All praise. We got the brother Kazak on. Y'all, we back on live, man. Finishing up the last part of the Torah portion. All right. Go ahead and get this and share this too, man. I didn't even know that was up like that. Let me share that. What's the word, good sir? What's the word, sir? Oh man, brotherhood, that's the best kind. All right, so we trying to finish up with we started with the gospel, then we did the prophets. Now we're going into the law portion, and we're looking at the law portion. I got some videos and some images pulled up. Yep, we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live right now. So it's this East Indian doctor that's also explaining infections that men can have in our beards. All right, so I'm pulling up a few things, you know, as we look at that goes into the clean and unclean. Salute, shalom to everybody that's rocking, that's building with us right now. All right, if you can get the Mashpach Chaim on the conference call, we got so much to talk about. With us looking at She Conceived, we want to give a special shout out to the daughters and the mothers and women of Yashala who are life givers, who are doulas, who are I just heard you say it. It is escaping my mind. So we want to give a salute to the daughters because this week's Torah portion is conceived. All right. So we are on the Torah portion conference call. Also, I just hung up from it. We got our brother Kazak on. Hey, shalom, Kazak. What's the word, good sir?
Not much.
All right. Say again. All right, well, rest well. If you choose to, man, we on the live, brother, so you can see what we tracking on there, you know, finishing up, man. So we supposed to. All right.
Yeah, I'm about to check you out now.
Okay, all praise. Most I bless, Saint. Also, I'm going to get the conference call number back up in case anybody want to call in there, too. Hey, matter of fact, if you don't mind, could you get in touch with Loopy or Shamar or some of the other brothers to tell them?
I'm just not getting back about my stuff.
No sweat. I got it. Don't even trip. Rest well, King. Shabbat Shalom. Come. So we got back acne, we got neck acne, we got pimples and all kind of sores and busts. This is of the heads. I don't know what all of this is. I do know that as I look into this, see a lot of information. I don't even know what this is, how to pronounce it, but I started to look into this. I want to check out this video real quick. There are some people who have a zeal, who have a passion for busting bumps and stuff like that and pimples. This isn't the same thing. This is an infection, all right, that we see that can be in the face. Now, this infection can be anywhere in the head, all right, also known as barber's itch, ringworm of the beard, and tinea all right. So this is just an example of a fungal infection that men, women, anybody can catch. Now, why is it important to know about this? It's important to know about it for a couple of reasons. The Most High gave us laws on clean and on unclean. So when we send our Yaladim to school and daycares and stuff like that, you feel me? The reality of it is that we're always in danger. We are always in risk of being ill. So when the Most High gives us laws, like we see in this week's Torah portion, and Shalom, Shabbat Shalom to everybody that's coming back in, that's Shema back in. We're going to turn on the all right, so if you can, which I know you can do, make sure, let me see, get this invite jumping. There we go. That's a good balance. So make sure if you've been learning like others been learning, and if you enjoy learning, share out. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? Let me salute, turn the camera on. Yabrakam Yabasham Mashagashah. It's your brother Karatazaya Ban Yashal. And of course, we back at it like Torah addicts out of rehab. No pun intended. Yo. Get me started. All right, so anywho, so we're finishing up this week's Torah portion read. And what we got is we're looking at something amazing. And what we've seen is that the Father put everything in front of us. Exactly how it's supposed to be. Now, if you're watching, which you are, I want to encourage you, Baba Kwashah, please send this out to other friends and families that you know are going to want to, hear or, be a part of the Torah portion. We did our conference call, and now our conference call is over with. All right, so I'm going to do something different. All right. This is something that I was playing earlier. All right. Now, while I was playing this, I was trying to get everybody to see or understand about the whole thing with this, the whole head bumps. All right, the whole head bumps and the uncleanliness, that goes into a lot, okay? It goes into a lot. And not only does it go into a lot, if we don't teach the laws of cleanliness and uncleanliness to our Yaladim, to our children, then, it's all type of stuff that we're going to be subject to. I don't know if, it's fair to say people are still teaching, but I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like it's fair to say that a lot of Yashalim are teaching, because we have things like this is an example of what's called barber's itch. All right. And what barber's itch is, it's a fungal infection that sets into anywhere in your skin where you have hair follicles. Now, Yahweh commanded, if you can hear me good, put a 7 in the room. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Brashwan, Yahweh Shema. If you can hear me too, I'll put a 7 in the room. Make sure you're sharing this so other people can hear. If I need to turn the volume down, I'll put a 3 in the room, and I'll turn the volume down. So with that being said, we also see that, here, let me start this back from the gate. All right. And I'm going to go back to StreamYard. Okay, so the issue that we have here is tinea barbaea. All right. Typical is a type of a fungal infection. Now, watch this. It's called barber's itch. Now, check this out. This goes anywhere we have body hair. This can go in your genitalia area if you have wherever, because it's ringworm where the hair follicles is. So when the Most High tells us the laws of being set apart, and he shows us, when to set apart, hallelujah, that's wonderful news. So when the Most High shows us how to be set apart, we should practice these things. Me, I am a man. I do have sex. I don't talk about my sex life because it's not right to. So for other people to talk about other people's sex life, we should hold that in derision. We should hold that in detest. You feel me? I'm so bothered about that. So with that being said, when our families consummate and when we finish the natural act of being sexually intimate, we have an obligation by way of Tawarah, by way of the Torah, to bathe ourselves. And if you don't bathe yourself after you get out the shower, not just on a Shabbat, but on a regular occasion, then not only do you run risk of, promoting bacterial infections, sexually transmitted disease, which we're going to read about that because sexually transmitted disease is in the Bible, but it doesn't come under the name of sexually transmitted disease so much as the name of, unclean or tama'ah or a gushing or a running issue. Now, I'm almost 50. I would lie to you if I said I've never had an uncleanliness. I think everybody have had, if they're been, if they've been involved with I don't know, because I've heard people that said they were virgins and that they become unclean. I don't know about that. I knew one woman, she said she had caught trichinosis. She had caught trick. Y'all know, when people get the trick, a woman told me she had got tricked from a toilet seat. I was like, word, you got tricked from a toilet seat? I thought trick was a sexually transmitted disease. You can only get it through sex. Well, apparently you can get tricked from toilet seats. So women, be careful if you ever go into a bathroom behind another woman and it smells really bad, because apparently women can get sexual. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's true, put it in the room. If that's not true, put it in the room. The point of saying such is to say, when the Most High tells us the laws of clean and unclean, we should follow them. All right. Unclean. All right. And here goes something else. If you don't promote yourself to be unclean when you are unclean, not only are you guilty, you are making other people guilty. All right. That's a reality. It's not lawful to be a tama'ah, to know that I'm tama'ah and I'm dealing with other people. It's not lawful. Not at all. All right. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, who just came in. Hey, Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. So we're looking at this cleanliness and this uncleanliness. The reality of it is there are things out there such as when a woman gives birth, there's a time frame of her being unclean. We're going to talk about a lot of this, but at the same time, we're also going to talk about whenever a woman, it's just so much that's not known. And there's so much public information that's in there that's buried in libraries. All right. I encourage everybody, get the book. Okay. Get the book. Let me see. The Dead Sea Scrolls on Sexuality. All right. Dead Sea Scroll on Sexuality. All right. Check this out, everybody. I'm going to open this up real quick. There's so much information that, and it's not hard. It's public information. Let me start a screen share with you. Okay. Now, who are we? We are Yaladim Yasha'Allah. We are Yasha'Allah Banya Yasha'Allah. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. You're not a Hebrew Israelite, just by definition. If it hurts to say, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, there's no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite. By biblical definition, we are Yaladim Yasha'Allah. We are Banya Yasha'Allah. Hebrew Israelite just means to say, I am Eber's son and I am Israel's son. So don't get caught up. I mean, y'all know I like words. I like communication. I like words. So with that being said, when you're looking at what something means, call yourself for what you are. With us being Yaladim Yasha'Allah, Bani Yasha'Allah, check this out, family and friends. I'm going to do this. We're going to share this screen. Can everybody see what that says? That says the Dead Sea Scrolls on Sexuality. Attributes towards sexuality in sectarian and related literature at Qumran. If you want to find anything on sex pertaining to the children of Israel, pertaining to being clean and to being unclean, all you have to do is, first things first, go to the Bible. After you go to the Bible, what we'll be able to do is we'll find different portals of information, such as Flavius Josephus, all right, such as our historians, like Eusebius, ecclesiastical histories. And these elders will tell you, such as the letter to Dionysius. Yeah, I think it's the letter to Dionysius. Within that book, it tells us that the Israelites shared a common table, but not a common bed. So we weren't into wife swapping. We weren't into wife swapping. We weren't into dealing with women when they were on their menstrual cycles. We weren't into not bathing, because you have some nations that don't bathe. Like I'll tell you all straight up, in case you didn't know, the European nation calls themselves Jewish. Amalek, the European with the curlies, yeah, they have a principle of not bathing. Arthur Koestler, the 13th tribe, they are the base of all nations. You can go and look it up. Within it, the Ashkenazi, the book, the 13th tribe, the Ashkenazi Jews, right? Within this book, the 13th tribe, which our family has owned on several occasions. And I want to say salute to all, man, let me say salute to Ashaya with Shalamoth first. All right. Salute to Kanaya Wakanawan. Salute to Ashwan Arab. Salute to all of the Amayim and Akwatian of our Mashpachayim, and to those who minister and who purchase books, who purchase, things that the nation needs. This book was purchased on several occasions by, I don't know how many times in our family, Babylon Timbuktu, yeah, but this is what we're talking about, all right? Within this book, it describes that the Amalek, these nations right here, they're called the base of all nations, just like they're called in the book of Job, because in this book, it says that they don't wash, they don't bathe as regularly as everyone else does. And I know that that might sound strange or defamatory, but it's not. Coming from a man who lived amongst them, and you be like, that's you. Why you smell like that? You old. Man, you got a full beard. When you live amongst them and you see how bad they actually do smell, and they do leave trash around outside their apartment, which is why we took pictures and we was like, and which is why we did these things. So when we came back to tell you what President Putin said, that we are the children of Israel, that they will be following the Black Christ, which is the only Christ. Any other Christ outside from the one that Putin presents is the Antichrist. That's cool, ain't it? So when you lived amongst them and you be like, yo, why the firecracker do y'all smell like that? And you find out in this book, Arthur Koestler says that they are the base of all nations. And then watch this. I'm just going to see if this comes up. All right. Woo! Yahweh is so good. Man, check this out. I remember when the Most High first brought me into the truth, I used to drop this verse all the time. And I was so on fire when I used to say it, because for one, I was excited to find out that we are the children of Israel. But then I found out that Esau, my twin brother, don't even talk to me about a brother's love. Boy, oh boy. When you find out that your own brother will murder you, and Job proved that there was a brother that was more wicked that would murder his own brother. Genesis chapter 25, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. We're not gonna do the whole thing. Don't worry, everybody. If you're one of those people that get motion sickness from reading the Bible too much, stay away from me. I can't take you like you can't take me. I'm cool. If you're one of those people, but if you're one of those people that's attracted, all doors open, let's get it. If you're one of those people that like to get it, let's get this pottage. So Genesis chapter 25, verse 29, and Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. This Esau and Jacob relationship, I absolutely love it. One of these was elder, and one of these was younger. Let's see. Genesis chapter 25. Let's go to verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, which this keeps us perfectly on track, because this week's Torah portion is conceived, I know it's so beautiful. I'm not all the way understanding it yet, though. I know that there's a lot there. I just know it's a lot that I'm missing too. So I'm hungry to get it. So our grandmother, she conceived, and when it was finally time for our mother to give birth, the two children came out. One was stronger than the other. One was older than the other, obviously, twins. And her days to be delivered were fulfilled. Behold, there were twins within her womb. Salute to the Torah twins. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. My mailman, Jack. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and he took hold of his hand, of his heel, of Esau's, excuse me, and he and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Yaakov, Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So the first one that came out was the eldest. That's the point. Now let's go to the book of Job. Book of Job, chapter 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have sit with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of the hands profit me, in whom old age is perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste, who took up marlows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief, to dwell in the clefts. Shalom, Esau. Job is talking about Esau, the base of all nations. They ate under bushes. They ate bugs. They lived in caves. Know your history. To dwell in cliffs and in valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. Verse 7, amongst the bushes they brayed. What does it mean to bray amongst the bushes? When you see like, you know, say like if I was just digging my ear, right? See? Amongst the bushes they brayed. Amongst the bushes. The Caucasians braid. Right here in the Bible. Thank you, President Putin. Floodgates of information is all kinds of open now. I can literally say what I've been saying for all these years, truthfully, more confidently, because that white president who rides a bear with no shirt on and a leather girdle, yeah, he said it. So with the proof of the children of Israel being the Negroes and the Edomites, Amalek, we see that this nation, let me go back to this real quick. Oh, what did I do with it? Uh-oh, slack that. Arthur Koestler, 13th tribe. We see that this nation from this book specifically, and yes, Khan, we can go to the book, chapter, and verse. I didn't say anything that I haven't read that this man wrote. Please don't call me a racist. This man wrote the book. His name is Arthur Koestler. He is one of their own people. He was murdered by his own people, and he even himself said there was no such thing as the 13th tribe of Israel. There's 12 tribes of Yasharallah. So he called his own people the 13th tribe. After he put out this book, him and his wife was murdered. So here go another book. Who is Edom? Who is Esau? Here go another book. The Jew, a Negro. Come on, man. The Willie Lynch letter, the making of a slave. That, you know what? That one is, you know, but at the same time, the information is good. But you know, tracing down who actually wrote it is kind of hard. And Willie Lynch, no. Study what you study, research what you research, and then prove to me who really wrote the Willie Lynch letters, even though it's very good. So anyway, Arthur Koestler, this man who really existed, really wrote this book, who really talked about these people, who the book of Job really said this. Job chapter 30, verse 7. Amongst the bushes, they brayed. Under the nettles, they were gathered together. So imagine a bunch of them. Imagine a bunch of them all nestled together under trees eating bugs. It's in the Bible. What you want me to tell you? It's in the Bible. And these pastors haven't said it. This stuff will literally make you go crazy. The prophet Malachi said the burden of the word of the Lord. Imagine a bunch of them braying up under a nestle of a tree, all digging for bugs, and then one of them turn around and look at you, and then they all come scurrying at you. Imagine that. They all come scurrying after you. The book of Job, chapter 30, verse 7. Amongst the bushes they brayed, and under the nettles they were gathered together. They were the children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Yeah, I won't be retracting that statement. The Most High said it. Let's look at what the word base is. The English word for shame is the Hebrew character sha and ma. It's not sham. It's the sham and the mayam, which the white people pronounce as shame, which is base. The Bible says they were the base, the shame of all nations, which means a reputation, fame, glory. The name that's sham. Oh, sham. Why did it say sham? Hold on. They are the base, sham, boom, boom, boom. Viler. Oh, I went to the wrong word. So luckily I meant viler. I still went to this one. All right, so that's what we have? Naka. Oh, that sounds like Nika. That sounds like Naka. Hey, what up, Naka? That's really Naka and that's Naka. Hey, what up, Naka? Hey, you a Naka. Maybe that's where they got Nika from. I don't know, but this is Naka. Hey, what up, Naka? Hey, Shalom. Hey, you Naka. Hey, watch this, Yashala. The Most High gave it to us. Hey, Naka. And then you're going to have somebody come in and say, it's actually Nakal. If you use the vowel in the kadut, it's Nakal. I ain't talking like them heathens. This is Na, that's Ka, and that's Ah, Naka. Because look over here in transliteration, what it would say? Naka. You know what this proves? This proves whenever you're reading the Blue Letter Bible, the transliteration actually shows you how to pronounce it in Paleo-Hebrew. It just shows you the modern character, and it gives you the modern word. We're so used to following Edomites that we actually don't look further, man. Don't be Naka. Hey, man, don't be base. Come on, man. Chill out, Naka. So Naka means viler. It means to strike, to scourge, to smite. All right, to be viler, to drive away, to smite. It looks like that's pretty much it on it. It says strike. Naka. It sounds like Naka, don't it? Naka. So the Most High says that they were the vilest. They were Naka than the earth. Let's see what else he says about them. He says they were base men. Well, we got the word men in Shem. What's base? What's base? Let's see what base is. Shapal Naka. Shapal Naka. Base, humble, low in height and weight and station, humble condition of spirit, humiliated, lowly as, literally or figuratively. Naka. Sheesh. To be cast down. Man. blow up a tree to be depressed, cast down, humble of spirit. Shabal, Shabbalah, Shabbalah. I love this language, man. So the Most High says that they were the vilest, that they were the base of all nations. Under the trees, they brayed. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now I am their song. And now they make fun of us. Yea, I am their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me. They spare not to spit in my face. I encourage everybody to, that's the book of Job. I encourage everybody to, Baba Kushah, please, not only purchase Arthur Koestler, don't purchase, buy, and sell on the Shabbat. Get this book, all right, and salute to the daughters of Israel and the mothers of Israel that's helped before in the past. This book has helped tremendously in Mashpachah and in ministry. All right, not only that, but look at the book of Job. All right. Look at this older brother and this younger brother scenario and how to and then take your time. All right. And notice how the Most High, I mean, I don't quite know how to say it, but I don't know how to quite say it, but it's like everything is so public. Everything is so public. How can you miss it? Everything right now is public information. So anybody not doing, or anybody not trying, Christ said, let the dead bury their own. I want to also encourage everybody to learn these laws, statutes, commandments, man, because this is the only thing to live by. Like, I've tried it, and I've tried the good and I've tried the bad. Outside from Yahweh's law, statutes, commandments is nothing. Outside from this life, this Torah is nothing. It's dry. It's very dry on the island of Patmos. It's very dry. But if we learn this and if we keep this, now we're part of his protocol. We're part of what he told us to do. So let's finish up this week's Torah portion. There's a lot to go into, a lot that we already went into. All right. And for those who's listening, let them hear, man. All right. 33 verses about gonorrhea. I don't know if that's, actual 33 verses, but we'll look at it. The first part of this is we're going to go into the laws of what it says, the laws of motherhood. All right. So we're going to start with Leviticus chapter 12. This is very short. And I want to encourage, if you women are applying to have children, clean yourself from the inside out. Start herbal tea, start herbal healing, start eating fruits, start eating vegetables, stop eating fried food. If you're a drinker, stop drinking. If you're a smoker, stop smoking. If you are, if you're a person that's a believer and you really want to apply for something, apply for it. Apply for righteousness and Yahweh will do it for you. So I'm going to encourage everybody that's, say like if you're a brother and, if you had a procedure, I can't do nothing about that. I don't know what to suggest to you if you've had a penis procedure and your testicles don't, but if you have everything in play and it's like, okay, things just aren't working out, faith can move mountains. The Most High gave us herbs and medical healing, medicinal healing. I know of women who drank herbs and changed their diets and got pregnant, and these women can help. Even if they don't, the Most High is giving the herbal recipes and the remedies for you women and for you men to increase your sperm count, for you to increase. I'm on that. I'm on increasing sexual virility, sperm count, and for increasing like the life inside of a woman. Now, if you can't do that at this time because of whatever circumstance, what I encourage you to do is be a life giver in another way. Be a doula, be a midwife. All women of Israel should be midwives. All right, hold that thought real quick. Exodus chapter 1, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. All right, all women of Israel should be midwives. All right, now that's my respective and my personal opinion. All right, but let me show you why. Because if it wasn't for you women of Israel, we would have been murdered. If it wasn't for you women of Israel, we would have been put to death. Not just put to death, we would have been drowned out by the Hamites. Because at this time, they were actually petitioning to not only throw us in the river, to let us be eaten by animals, but to, you know, I mean, the mass abortion of the Israelite nationality is nothing new. All right? It's nothing new. Okay? The mass murder of the Israelite nationality is nothing new. So let's look at this, man. This is how much we need you, daughters of Israel, to help us to not only bring life, but also bear life and conceive and carry and nurture and step in. We are not other nations. We have a law on polygyny. We have a law on, I mean, everything pretty much. Pretty much. So we see examples of mean women who teased other women that didn't get pregnant, or mean women, just so many mean ass women in Israel. They just, ugh. You have examples of these maleficent spirited women, and they pray against and hurt other women. And these women who get hurt, when they go to Yahweh, guess what? That's how Samuel was conceived. Samuel was conceived because his mother's sister wife was mean to her, and she hurt her feelings, and she belittled her and she berated her. And when that woman went to the Most High and she conceived, she gave her child back to Yahweh. She gave Samuel back to Yahweh, and Samuel became a mighty man in our nationality. Say it ain't so. So what, man? Yo, shoot away them bad, man. I'm not even, But for those that have been hurt, that still are applying, that still want to, or for those who can't, and you still got that passion inside of you, I want to give life, but there's no point in me talking about it because, well, I want to tell you there is a point in you talking about it. Because you women being midwives and being doulas, you all are going to be the grandmothers and the great mothers of our nation. The Mashra'ah, Yashala, the Amazakwanyam. Y'all going to be them mothers. Many children, more children, and the daughters that's afflicting and having children, they're afflicting their children, afflicting their husband, afflicting their family. Shoot them away. Go, let them go. So what? You women, you good ones, y'all going to be the ones to where those children, they're going to see their bad mother's legacy, and they're going to look at you good mothers that maybe not even give birth to them. And they're going to be like, Khan Amma. And it's going to be you, Amma. Let's look at this real quick. This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 10. Come now, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when they're fallen out, that when they're fallen out any war, they join also with our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So the Africans, the Hamites, the Egyptians, the Africans made up a plan to say, these Negroes, they overpopulate. Apparently, they have a lot of sex and a lot of children. We don't have as much sex and children as they do. But since more of them, because you got to have more children to have more sex to overpopulate, let's not be simple. Yasha Allah has sex. Yasha Allah has children. Be fruitful and multiply. I don't understand this asexual generation. Y'all know me. Y'all know. I don't got to say it. I don't understand this asexual Israelite generation. Be fruitful and multiply. So the Hamites were afraid that we would multiply. And then when war comes, right, that what? We would join with our enemies. So it was like, you know what? America was like, you know what? Before all these Israelites multiply, let's start killing them off. It's depopulation. And I can't stand how Negroes can see all of this stuff in front of them and be like, depopulate, depopulate. They ain't talking about depopulate. They talking about depopulate you, not depopulating them. They not not talking about depopulating their own, maybe the weaker ones or whatever the, whatever, the undesirables, the oblongs, the ones that live in the south side, maybe them. But they always been trying to depopulate Yasha'Allah, and it's so sick that the women of Israel either don't want to bear children, don't want to give birth, or don't want to be the ones who help other women give birth. You are helping us be destroyed. You're not giving life, and you're not helping others give life. And then when somebody does give life, you get mad about it. That's not right. Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. And the king spake unto the Hebrew midwives, the Israelite women, the President Trump, which just disgusted me. President Trump went to Atlanta. I can't stand Atlanta. I can't stand the sodomicity. I can't stand the whack attitude. I can't stand the traffic. The answer is la. No. Trump went to Atlanta, went to a Chick-fil-A. Chicken, my naka. Y'all don't understand. Trump went to Chick-fil-A where all these Negroes was at. He's standing there like, if you niggas touch me, I'm shooting you. He's standing there looking uncomfortable and orange as hell. And you better believe it was the black woman who ran up to her white savior and jumped up and down. I love you, white man. It's disgusting, man. The Israelite woman is supposed to be on the side of her nation, of her people. Go look for it. It's disgusting. You Willie Lynch black women are disgusting. And you love your oppressors, you love your enemies, and you hate your fathers, you hate your own people. It's disgusting. You hate your God. It's disgusting. At this time frame, the Israelite women would not let us be put to death. They lied to the president to save their own people. And they were against abortion. Look how far y'all fell. Look how far we fell as a nation. Now you got women dancing after they get an abortion. You just murdered another Israelite. You finished. You murdered another Israelite. What you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you something positive? I'm going to tell you what I read. And the king of Egypt spake unto the Hebrew midwives, of which name one was Shiphrah, and the other name was Puah. Yo, come on, that's Pooh. Yo, Pooh. Yo, that's Pooh. Yo, that's the two homegirls, man. That's the two sisters. So the king did the same thing that happened during the time frame of Maccabees, try to soften the women's heart, go to the mothers, go to the sisters, be like, hey, you do this, and then we'll give you press-on nails and cars and bad weaves and long eyelashes, and we'll give you all the stupid stuff y'all like, right? Look at this. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, hold on. This means that the Hebrew midwives was birthed in Hebrews and Hamites. Excuse me. We was birthing everybody. We were birthing everybody. Don't you know that the Egyptians believed in putting crocodile doo-doo up their vagina? Yeah, no, Israelite women ain't gonna do that. No pun intended. Not gonna do that. And the king of Egypt spake unto the Hebrew midwives, of which one was named, I want to read her name in Hebrew. And let's read her name in Hebrew real quick, because I might name one of my daughters after her. And most times, if I have another daughter, I might name them after these midwives. All right, so what is his name? Shapra. All right, this is Sha, Pa, this is Ra, and this is Ha. All right, Shapra. You can say Shapara, because you see how the Sha is just Para by itself. All right, and then the Sha. All right, so then we go to the online. All right, the root word of it, Shapara. All right. Fairness, clearness. Her name is Shapara. Her name is fairness, brightness, clearness. Yeah, all praise. Mosai give me another daughter, Baba Kusha, and another bond. Brightness and beauty, Shapra, Would anybody like to use that name for their Israelite children? Hey, it's springtime. You're supposed to be conceiving. Time to pick some baby names. Wait, how you say her name? Her name look like Pooh to me. It look like Pooh. Hey, what up, Pooh? Hey, there go little Pooh. There go Pooh. You know, Pooh braid your hair. Pooh, yeah, Pooh baby. Yeah, Pooh baby sit for you. All right, you can't tell me these ain't Negro names. Why? Shapura, why? Make sure y'all go get them babies. Hey, make sure y'all don't let nobody abort them babies. Daughters of Israel, when you look at these scriptures and you see this, and then you see how women do stuff like murder their own children in front of you, tell you they're going to murder your children. Nah, this is our fault. So the daughters of Israel used to be like this. See? All right, let's finish this up. So that's her name. All right, so Pawah. And he said, when you do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, not to the African women, and you see them upon their stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. If it be a daughter, then she shall leave. Why shall the women live? So the Hamite men can have sex with our Israelite women and put their seed inside of us, and they'll overpopulate us. But if they murdered off all the Israelite men, then the Israelite men couldn't keep populating the Israelite women, right? Right. So it was extinction and annihilation of our nationality, even in the book of Exodus chapter 1. That's the point. That's the point. So, Benathim Yasha'Allah, the daughters of Israel, you do have a responsibility. You do have an obligation to know about being a midwife and to give life, because there's always been a plot against you, a plan to murder your children and to use you as the black woman to do it. Go and look at the Tuskegee Institute experiments. It was black women. It was Israelite women that was murdering us. Why you think we don't trust y'all? Putting poison in our veins, calling you the nurse. Oh, baby, it's going to be all right, baby. Here goes some fried chicken. Your veins sure look nice today, Karatazaya. You know, I made some greens last night. Mr. White Man Show is, yeah, we giving you this good, we don't trust you. So the roles have got to be reversed to where the new generation of Israelite women say, I love you. I will give my life for our God, for our nationality, for our law, statutes, commandments, for our culture. If they're not like that, they're going to be the opposite of Shua and Pua, all right? They're going to be murderers and adulterers and abortionists. But to understand that the daughters of Israel defied the government, and these sisters went home. These women were real revolutionaries. Verse 17. But the midwives feared Yahweh. See? They didn't fear President Trump. They didn't fear Biden. They didn't fear none of them. The midwives feared Yahweh and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, America. When I drive through Cincinnati and I see advertisements of abortions, I never see them in the European, Edomite, rich East Indian communities that we're working in. They're always in Yasha'Allah hood, because there's always been a plan to murder us. Yahweh tells us to give life. He tells us how to give life. He tells us after we give that life, he says that life belongs to me. So you women really got to sit by yourself and think about your abortions. Sit by yourself and think about the children of Israel that you murdered when the Most High told us to bring them into the truth. Sit by yourself. Think about it. I want to encourage life to everybody. I want to encourage I want to encourage, start anew, bring forth new life. We're in a time frame of not only conceiving, but Pesach is coming up. Who is the main one to be conceived at this time? Our healer. Hamashiach Yahushai is the living, running waters. He is the run. There go the connection. I knew it was somewhere. Booyah! Washil Mashiach Yahushai. So this week's Torah portion, we see a child, we see a son. The principles of a son being born. A child, a man. We're going in the springtime, Pesach, Passover. Yahushai is the living waters that are in the river Jordan. No, even if there are rivers in Syria that are cleaner, could I be baptized in them? No. There's rivers all over the world. Where was Yahushai HaMashiach baptized in? River Jordan. There's more to it. There's so much more to it. There's so much more. So there is a common thread with this week's Torah portion, and it doesn't look how it usually looks. You have a child and childbirth and how we're supposed to do. Then we have the prophet portion. The prophet portion of a leper being healed by the living waters. The prophet didn't even come out. The prophet didn't even come out and say, Yahweh, heal him. The prophet came to the door and was like, go to the river Jordan, go dip in it 7 times. And then when you get to the gospel portion, you see Yahushai being born. And Yahushai is the living word. What did he say to the woman at the well? He said, woman, if you knew who you asked to drink, you would never thirst again. Proverbs chapter 1. Let's finish up the Torah portion. I can't see any comments or anything like that because I'm not looking at the screen to see me. I'm looking at the screen to see this. So let's finish up. This week's Torah portion, Leviticus chapter 12 through chapter 13. Amar al-Mashah debardium. And Moses, and Yahweh spake to Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and saying, if a woman have conceived a seed and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation for her infirmity. She shall be unclean. We see a connection in her uncleanliness according to the days of her separation for her infirmity. This is a code word. This is women code, okay? This is a code word for her menstrual cycle, all right? Also her infirmity, giving birth to the child. But this is also code for her menstrual cycle, all right? So we're going to get back to that. All right, I'm going to hold that right there. We're going to go back to it, rocking on live, YouTube, Facebook. And we're in Leviticus chapter 12, verse 3. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. Just like we seen with the 8th day of Yahushai in the gospel. In Luke chapter 2, the 8th day Yahushai was circumcised. The 8th day, women, men, let's encourage to have our children circumcised. The 8th day. But you might say there's only 7 days in a week. What day is the 8th day? It's the day that comes after the 7th. Verse 4. And she, so separate, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. So disgusting. Ugh. I know Israelite schools. I know Israelite women who are unclean and will have a baby, will take a man's baby into a golden corral. That disgustingly happened to my brand new daughter. She was defiled by her mother not keeping her clean. And will go into congregations. There are schools that will let women come into the congregations while they're on their flower. that makes the whole congregation, I won't go no more. Because now, even though I love you brothers, I know 3 out of 5 of these women is on their flower. All of them ain't lined up. So, paying attention to the moon, paying attention to my daughters, my mothers, my sisters, paying attention to Yahweh's laws on being clean and unclean. Somebody please teach this to other Israelite schools. All right. This is a perfect portion for a lot of friends and families to learn right now. It is unlawful for us to be in holy convocations with women who are bleeding, and they know it. You women are so perverse. You will have a whole diaper on that can't nobody see, and will smooth be sitting there smiling, feeling all kind of appendix cramps, and will sit in the holy convocation in your blood and make everything and everybody unclean. That is disgusting. So even though the baby is circumcised and set apart, verse 4, she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no holy thing. This includes her husband. If your husband is hallowed, if your husband is set apart, if your husband is anointed up, oiled up, hey, you know what? We're going to have holy convocation, hallelujah. He done been set apart. You ain't supposed to touch him. If your husband decides to lovingly lay in the bed with his wife, his rib, when she and the child are going through their time, that man is going to choose to be unclean. He has not sinned, but he's going to be unclean. And in his uncleanliness, he has to stay away from everybody. We shouldn't feel that uncleanliness is is disgusting. It's disgusting whenever we take uncleanliness and put it on other people. It tag, you're it. You got the cooties. See, look, if I'm unclean, I stay separate from my friends and my families. I tell them I'm unclean because I spiritually care for their souls. And you can't see that. So according to the days of the separation, after the woman gives birth, she shall be unclean. Now, this is where we need friends and families and daughters and aunties to come and help and minister, and sister wives. When a woman gives birth, she usually wants her mothers, her sisters, and those closer to her by her side. And this is the time frame when she doesn't have to do anything but heal. When women are on their flower, you women should be healing. Stop going swimming and leaving red streaks. Stop doing that. Stop going to nightclubs and messing up people's clothes. Stop doing that. When a woman is tama'ah, when she's unclean, it's a spiritual time frame for her to be set apart with the Lord. Why does that make sense? Because I can't comfort you like he can. I can't comfort you like the Most High Messiah can. But when it comes time for him to say, now go to your husband, now it's time for me to physically comfort you. Men, stop being over busy with your women. You use your women too much. You around them too much. You got to learn how to respectfully separate. Come back together later so you can love and appreciate each other more. Leviticus chapter 12, verse 3. In the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary, all right, until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. I got to call and talk to my brothers about that too. Like, yo, I think I seen my unclean woman somewhere, man. Yo, is that true? If they don't do that. If it's so, man, that's so disrespectful to me. The Torah first. Oh my, you disrespect the Torah and you disrespect your brother? Goodness gracious, that's so Christianity. Where do they do that at? Leviticus chapter 12, verse 5. But if she bear a maid child, so a female child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation. She shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. So now here's my question to you, women of Israel. Why is the time frame for boys and girls different? Let's talk about this let's talk about this. Why is the time frame for boys and girls, and how much of a time frame is it? If a woman gives birth to a son, right? And I'm not a mathematician. I'll be like this. I'll be like, are you clean yet? You still unclean? Oh, okay. How much longer? Oh, okay. What week is it now? Okay. You still unclean? I don't know. I don't do the counting like that. So when a woman gives birth to a son, she shall be unclean 3 and 30 days. So somebody putting that in layman's terms for me. All right, I put that in layman's terms for me. What is 30? What is 3 and 30 days after a woman gives birth to a son and her internal organs are getting back in place? Her wounds from being opened, her gash is healing. Okay. What else? Her rib cage is starting to go back in place. Right? What else? All of those things that you women transform and metamorph. You women are, yeah. So when your body goes back into that form, after that we have what? So within that time frame is 33 days. That's for a boy, right? So for a girl, if you give birth to a young maiden, which I want a maiden, I want a banaf, I want a bond. I want a banaf now, though. I want another daughter. I want another son and another daughter. All right. The hopes of a good man. So, but if she bear a maid child, wait a minute. In the prophet portion, there was a na'ara. Remember the word na'ara? We had seen the word maid, and I wonder if we'll see na'ara again. Nakoba. Shapaha. Her maid. All right, I'm going to put this one over here in case anybody wants to look at it later. All right. So let me look at the comments and see what anybody help with that one. Hey, Shalom. Kate the Great. Y'all Shmarlatha. Kate the Great. All right. Y'all Shmarlatha. Y'all Shmarlatha. Shalom, Shalom. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. And we're going to start our screen share. And with this screen share, you all will be able to see also what we're reading. So we're in Leviticus chapter 12. All right. So Leviticus chapter 12. And I was actually hoping someone would be able will help with them questions, but I can't see all the comments. So maybe somebody put the comments in there. All right. So I apologize. All right. All praise. Known as Shaddai is real. Hallelujah. Bashem Mashiach Yahushai. So salute to the house of Shaddai. Yabrakaya Bashem Yashai. And Yablaka. All right. I love my brother. All right. Excellent minister, brother. Love you, Prince. All right. Hey, Shalom. Yahushua. I see you. Okay. So let's do this. Leviticus chapter 12, verse 6. And I gotta say this again. I was expecting somebody to put the date, the number time frame up there, but It's okay. Maybe the women will learn on their own one day. All right. So Leviticus chapter 12, verse 7. Oh, wait, excuse me, verse 6. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. Now let's look at this. So we should not teach or speak as if having a flower or giving birth is a bad thing. Now, first, let me show you all this. We just read, this is very short. Leviticus chapter 12, when you look at the sacrifice that's given for a woman that has given birth, right? And that has given a boy or a banaf, when you look at that, it's a more, it's not as much of a sacrifice that a person has to give, like as far as a man when he's unclean. So that actually shows you, it's like, I don't know, this is a more of a pure sacrifice to say, but I don't want to say that because I don't want to be saying pure out of context. What I mean to say is whenever a man is unclean or, you know, there's a different issue, then the sacrifice is different. It's more extensive. All right. So let's read on to this and salute to your women, man. Blessings to you. Who shall offer it? Okay, so let's see. Leviticus chapter 12, verse 6. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year of a burnt offering and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. Who shall offer it before Yahweh and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law of her that hath borne a male or a female. Kol Asherah, the body Yahweh, Na Aisha, Wa Na Shemai. All that Yahweh said, will we do and hear. All right. Now, Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1, I will be reading it straight through. If we come across something that comes need to break it down, I will. Leviticus chapter 1, finishing up this week's Torah portion, and we did good. It's almost sundown here in the city gates of Cincinnati. This means for the time frame of our teaching class, we not only spoke a little bit, we actually kept the ministry going up until at least sundown. So hallelujah, just because the Torah portion is short don't mean that you got to be short. The people want to hear the word. The people want to hear something. So speak to them, teach them, right? All right, so let's get this. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1. Waya Amar al Masha wa Aharan the Badium. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. So this does go into, while I was looking at, I was looking at some of these images. And the reason I was looking at some of these images was because, I guess in the opener, there are a lot of bumps and issues, and that just hurts to even look at. Oh, man. Can y'all see this? Okay, yes, we are looking at head sores, all right? All kind of pimples, head acne, all kind of stuff like that, all right? This is just one example. Goodness gracious, that makes my skin crawl. Oh, man, this is just one example of, what could turn into, I don't know how to explain it. But I do know that the Father teaches and has treatments for everything. I know Zaquan Matato, he had this, and he had gotten to the Dead Sea or the Red Sea, and the Most High healed him. But while we got the music paused, I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna share this screen instead. All right. All right, so let's do the screen share. All right, so we have it on mute, All right. Mustache area in men. Now, what we looked at first is not the same as what we're looking at now. At first, what I was showing you all was head bumps, right? Those head bumps, head acne, head pimple. This is not the same thing. What we're looking at right now is, and I know that Rashwan and other women that's in the truth and mothers, they know about different things, you know, cradle cap and all that other stuff. This is specifically a fungus. This is a fungus called barber's itch, ringworm of the beard. This can be caught anywhere in the head. I think I had it one time, or in my beard right here. I don't ever want to come back. But one time in my beard, I had a swelling up. I had a knot that came up in my beard. And my skin was all raised. And I was like, yo, what is this? And I squeezed it. I was like, ah. And it was sore. Sore in the scriptures means quick, or quick to the touch, or that hurts. Quick. That's quick. It's a quick rising of the flesh. That can happen anywhere in a man's head, anywhere in a woman's head. But this specifically is different because this is a fungus? Yeah, this is a fungus. All right. Tinea butterbe. All right. This is just one. All right. I don't know all of them, but I know that it's infectious. So since it is infectious, Yahweh tells us how to keep ourselves from becoming infected, how we're infecting others. And sometimes the first cases of quarantine will be seen in the scriptures. So these fungi thrive in warm, moist environments and can be transmitted through direct skin-to-skin contact, contaminated objects such as towels and combs, or by coming into contact with animals such as cats and dogs that carry the fungus. All right. So we see again, it does cause a rising of the flesh. It causes scabs. It causes sores. All right. We should not. I don't like to use towels. Look. My bad. I don't like to use towels. I don't. I'm sorry. I have this whole scratching system that I have, and it works really good for me. I got a bacteria from using a towel, and it was bad. So I don't like to use towels. They hold stuff. You feel me? I'll be like, eh. And I did, and it just didn't work for me now. So yeah, if something like that happens, the Father gives us a remedy and a prescription, which is the Torah. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or a bright spot, and if it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest and unto his sons the priest. Why? Because now it's time for all the Levites to look at him. Our Levites was our physicians. We trusted our Levites to look at our family, their genitalia. You feel me? Why? Because these were the men of the Lord who understand physiology. Don't y'all know that black people, we're the first and original doctors? Not like in America's sense of doctors, but way back in the Bible, we the original doctors. The Levites were the original therapists. Their original, I mean, you name it. You name it, the Levites did everything. So it's not uncommon for us to have a knowledge that surpasses these other people. We just didn't have the opportunities that they gave their own children. And the priest shall look upon the plague in his skin of the flesh, and where the hair of the plague is turned, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight is deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Now let's go to this image again real quick. We won't do too much time. I'll try not to, hope not to. All right. Okay, now, if the plague is in the skin, right? So you see this Hebrew, I'm so apologetic. I got to put this man's pimple directly. I know there's some people right now so excited about this neck. All right. You just want to pop this so bad. It'll be okay. Now, This is a rising of the flesh. You see how it's larger, how it sticks up higher than the rest of his smoothness? You see that? That's a rising of the flesh. Now, even though, you know, that may be a hair bump, you know, I don't know. Negroes is different. First of all, you shouldn't have been shaving. Duh. That's don't shave. That is the stupidest. Negroes tear their faces up with razors. And the Most High told us don't shave. I don't get that. Who you trying to look like? Your face is testifying against you. Your face is begging you to stop. Your face is punching you back. Literally. So the point, your face punching you from the inside out. So listen, so what we're talking about is there being a rising of the flesh. So you can see it with Israelites, with brothers more prominently. This one, he's just stupid. He did this just for the pay. He did this for a paycheck. That was dumb. You can see how his skin all red. That means he's not used to it. That was dumb. He did that just to get paid. He probably got $75. It's going to take 9 weeks for his face to get back right. The point of saying all that is to say this. All right. That condition and this condition is completely different. What you're looking at is a viral infection that's on the head, the ra'ash of these men. This isn't from shaving. This man, and these are the type of people that will stand there and talk to you all day about the weather. Spitting the whole time he talk. Seeing microparticles in the air fly off from his face. He want to use all F words. Me and my friend Frank, we flew a F-150 one time, and I feared your faith. You got to be a man of faith, you see? Just spitting his particles all on you. Dead skin and dried up pus. So the point of saying that is to say, let's get back to the scripture, everybody. All right, so the point of saying that is to say, the Most High shows us, all right? The Most High shows us how, amen. Excellent. Aqua made a comment, beautiful statement. All right, the sister said what? She said our bodies will literally speak to us based on how we treat it, especially diet. Yeah. 1,200 on that all day. 1,200. So our bodies will speak to us literally, especially with how we treat our diets. All right, so let's get back to this. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh. And when the hair in the plague is turned white, such as what we see. So I get Charlotte. Okay, so luckily that was one of my brothers. So again, let's finish this up. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 3. And the plague in the sight be deeper than the skin of the flesh. Or in other words, the skin is now turned in. In other words, crater face. Crater face is an example of leprosy. If a person has crater face, excuse me, let me, and I'm not saying crater face be mean. Crater face. If a person has crater face, this is a form of leprosy. Okay? This is a deterioration of the skin. All right. And sometimes you can have hairs that grow out of crater face. Okay. Sometimes when you have hairs that grow out of crater face, you can have issues that come up from it. And the Most High tells us what to do in this. How to consider a person to be a clean leopard or an unclean leopard with crater face. Okay, let me see. Black people with crater face. Oh, there we go. Okay. No, those are Hamite scars. She cut her face up. That's your fault. All right. Nope, she cut her face up. Nope. No, y'all just ugly. That's it. All right. I don't know what to call it. It's got to be a medical condition. All right. It's got to be a medical condition for whatever it is. But the point of saying such is to say, let me see. Let's go over to this screen. I'm going to share this screen real quick. All right. Here's an example. And I have to learn, we have to learn the name of this condition. Skin concern help. I got a lot of big blackheads. I got a lot of, all right. So outside from that, you see how his skin actually sets in deeper than his flesh? That's what we're looking at. Okay. So that's what we're actually looking at in the scriptures. All right. So let me go back to it. And the scripture says, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of the flesh. You see? You see? So you see how it sets in deeper, right? It is a plague of leprosy. The priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. So some of our friends and families have this going on. And when they have this going on, you know, it's literally a physical outward appearance of uncleanliness. Let's look at another example real quick. Okay, here we go. All right. So here's a really good example. All right. Now I hope everybody can see this. All right. We're doing a screen share. All right. So these are different examples of fungus and bacteria. Like, let's look at this one specifically. Okay. All right. We're not going to look at mild. Okay. We're going to stop with this guy right here. This guy has open sores on his face. Okay. So this is literally a sign of, oh my bad. I didn't mean to go to StreamYard. I mean go to his Facebook. My bad, homie. My bad. I want to try and go to your Facebook, buddy. My bad. I want to try and go to your Facebook, buddy. Sorry about that. All right. All right. So yeah, so that's what we see, man. We see these are extreme cases. These are extreme cases. I don't know how to go over the Torah any more than just say. And a lot of you probably have seen this. You just didn't recognize that this is what you were seeing, right? So let's go on. It's almost sundown here. We're gonna finish up the Torah. And if the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and the sight and in sight be deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut him up that have the plague 7 days. So in other words, the crater face goes down deep, and you can see it. It might be, you know, it's lowered, and the hair has not changed colors. Now, the reason why the priest shut him up 7 days is because we're gonna put you in quarantine. Before America started quarantine, Yasha'Allah was already quarantining. The Most High had already taught us how to quarantine. Quarantine is whenever you clean and whenever you unclean. When you're unclean, you quarantine yourself. You isolate yourself. So we've been doing this. The Most High showed us ways of being preserved way longer than Esau did, and that's been preserving our nation for however long. You know? So he shut up 7 days. Verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day. And behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. You know what? You just had something going on. Your face is changing. You don't got no pus coming out. That hair is not turned white. You know what? You're good. Get out of here. Get out of here, chum. You're clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But now that same priest come back on the 7th day. If the scab spread much abroad the skin, and if it be deeper, but if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. Verse 8, and if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. We shut you up for 7 days, and I'm going to come back and see you in another 7 days, okay, All right. 7 days, you come back. Gee, Louise. Hey, brother. You got leprosy, man. You might be a clean leopard soon. I don't know, but for right now, it's spreading. So the whole time that whatever the issue is that spreads, the person's considered a leper. Whether they be clean or unclean depends on the condition. If the condition is increasing, if the condition is spreading, if the condition stops, if they have pus. Verse 9, when the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it had turned the hair white, and there be a quick raw flesh in the rising. Let me show you what that means. So let's go back to this image real quick. Okay. So you see how let's try to find another. I'm so sorry that we gotta look at all these terrible conditions, man. It's a testament to you Negroes. Don't be shaved. Oh my goodness, here we go. He the real deal. He is the one. This brother was sent for me today. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to come here. I didn't mean to come to Reddit. Acne Beard. This brother is the one. Can we enlarge his beard? Oh man. Oh, okay. I'm okay. I want that one. I want that one. I want that one. That's the one I want right there. Let me see if I can Google search this big bad boy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's getting bigger. It's getting closer. Okay, y'all see that? That is a rising in the flesh. Now, brother, if it's a speed bump, you got a speed bump. But if you got leprosy, sir, I want to squeeze that so bad, but I don't want to. It's not mine. I just want to cut that off. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so let's get back to the Torah. Let's get back to the Torah. That was real. That made me feel some kind of way. All right. Pull up our screen share. Man, please tell me I've been screen sharing all this. If I've been showing all of that stuff and I wasn't even screen sharing, that's gonna suck, man. It's terrible. All right, so back to it. And when the plague of leprosy is in a man, see, these bumps, all right, these big ready to be, not them, that's just, but these right here, I don't know if y'all can see that, but oh, that just hurts me to see. So this, as we see, not speed bumps and not shaving bumps, but this is fungus. So this is what we see, and the Most High talks about the rising, right? The Most High says, when the plague of leprosy is in a man, he shall be brought to the priest. Verse 10, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if it be a white rising, if it be a rising and to be white in the skin, and it had turned the hair white, and there be a quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin. Y'all see that, everybody? That's an old leprosy. This is an old leprosy. I don't know if that's herpes or not, but it happens. I don't know. But you see how that man's skin is corroding and falling off, and that red rising and the white spots? That's Torah, baby. So the Most High tells us how to keep away from that, how to watch for it. It is an old leprosy in the skin of the flesh. The priest shall pronounce him unclean, and he shall be shut, and he shall not shut him up. So there's no point in putting him in quarantine. Why? He is unclean. And if the leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that have the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy has covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean. That hath the plague, it is all turned white, he is clean. So this is where we get the teaching of if a person has what we call today vitiligo. If we know a person such as Chris Calico. Chris Calico he used to be one of my favorite rappers. Oh man, he don't got, oh, that's messed up. His pictures don't got the strange music change. Oh, that's messed up. His old picture, he don't got his pictures when he was with strange music. That's messed. So this young man, Chris Calico, is a very famous rapper from Kansas City. He has, as you can see, around his eyelids and around his mouth, he has a condition to where the skin is missing. Not the skin, but the color. The color of his skin is missing, all right? So this is called vitiligo. And the brother, he's hard. He's hard. He talks about being overweight. He talks about having vitiligo. He talks about, the brother's, he's very skilled. All right, this is his first album called, his first album is called Vitiligo. You can't mess that up. All right. So, but the point of saying that is to say, in looking at this, the Most High did what? The Most High showed us what leprosy is and what leprosy is not. Leprosy is also a discoloration of the flesh. We read about it in Flavius Josephus. It's called a distemperament of the flesh. So whenever you have a wasting away, whenever you have your color leaving from the natural pigment, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, you have leprosy. You just are considered to be a clean leopard. So Chris Calico, very talented artist, beautiful brother, man, very beautiful brother. He is what is considered to be a clean leopard. All right. A clean leopard. All right. So let's look at another example of leprosy. Vitiligo. All right. And now even today they have women and men that are models, right? They have vitiligo, but they model their marks. They model their beauty marks. It's how the Most High made them. And the Most High made them however he choose. All right. If he chose to give them a recessive gene and, specific beauty marks and whatever they want to call them, the reality of it is you're a leopard. You're a leopard. Thus saith the Lord. Yes, you are beautiful in your own way. You are a clean leopard. So the scriptures said what? We're going to end this off real quick because it's sundown around these parts. Look at this. Leviticus 13:13. Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy hath covered all his flesh, not just the vitiligo portion, but the leprosy has covered all the flesh, he shall pronounce him clean. Yeah, you clean. You got the plague, brother, but your plague ain't contagious to me. See, you don't have pus, you don't have bumps, you don't have scabies and scabs. You got vitiligo. Your skin color is leaving. No, hey, that ain't contagious. What's up, my man? Come here. I'm not going to catch what you got. So he's considered clean. He hath the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. Now, the funny part about this is the Jehovah's Witness organization in their racist, shenanigans. they say that when Christ come black, instead of us being black, when Christ come back, we're going to turn all white. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Trying to be in heaven looking for sunscreen, I'm good. But when the raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. Or in other words, when his skin, like when he gets an outbreak, he's unclean. All right. And the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean, for the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that hath him pronounce him clean that hath the plague, he is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed, and in the place where the boil, there be a white rising or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be shown to the priest, and if the priest seeth it, behold, it be in the sight lower than the skin, and the hair therefore be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. The boil will be the rising red part of the pus of the skin, that white hair coming out, sickness. But if the priest look upon it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spread much abroad the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. And this is how you can know if a person is infectious or not, right? But if the bright spots stay in this place, in his place, and spread not, it is a burning boil. In other words, you have just a sore spot that's right there, all right? And the priest shall pronounce him clean. You just got a sore burning boil, brother. You just got a big boil, all right? But you're not unclean, all right? You're not unclean because it's not going to pus spread and go throughout your body, okay? You all right. You'll be okay, all right? Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there be a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair or the white spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. Now that specific sickness, if you come into contact with that, that can be contagious. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, the priest shall shut him up 7 days. Well, we got an issue because your skin is starting to recede. Your hair hasn't turned white, but you got kind of a bruise around it. Let's see what this is going to do. Verse 27, and the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, and it is a rising of burning, the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, such as in herpes, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scald, even a leprosy upon the head or the beard. And yes, we do teach that a thin yellow hair, blonde hair is leprosy. Negroes should not be having leprosy blonde hair. That don't make no damn sense. The Most High made us beautiful. If anything, put some peroxide in your hair and get that kind of cool orange. But don't be doing the blonde thing, man. The Most High called that unclean. Verse 31. And if the priest look upon the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut him up that hath the plague of the skull 7 days. And in the 7th day, the priest shall look upon the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, or in other words, like cradle cap, spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, then and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven. Okay, so it looks like, okay, you got a dry patch, okay, but you don't have no yellow hair coming out of it. It might be a ringworm of the head, but let's keep you shut up 7 days, brother. You know, we be having the oily, greasy hair, sister. So whatever you got going on, we gonna see. So 7 days, we're gonna come back. Okay, 7 days. Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, Shabbat Shalom. How is everything? Okay, cool. So let me see if I can look at your hair, brother. Let me see. All right. Okay. All right. So we're looking at it. Okay, look, it ain't got no bigger, so it hasn't spread. That's good. Let me see. Okay, you don't got no yellow hair. Okay, no thin yellow hairs coming out of your leg. Okay, that's good. Okay, straight black hairs. Okay, that's what. Okay. Okay, let me see what else. The soreness has not went down into your skin. If your skin would have went down, like it means something is eating away at your flesh. So okay, so next step, we gotta shave your head. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 33. He shall be shaven, but the scowl shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up that has the scowl 7 days more. Why? Because we want to see if it's going to spread to different places. So the patch that you got that's right there where the sickness at, we ain't gonna touch that. We're gonna shave everything else around it to look at the rest of your head. Okay, this is a process of elimination. Okay, verse 34. And the 7th day, the priest shall look on the scowl, and behold, if the scowl be not spread in the skin, remember, because we shaved the rest of the head, because we was looking for the sickness in the rest of the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin. Remember that same patch? Okay, your patch didn't go down in your skin, and you ain't got no new signs. All right, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. You just got a bad haircut. That's all. All praise. You good, man. You just got a bad haircut, man. All right, come on, get up out of here. All right, shalom. All right, verse 35. But if the scowl spread much in the skin after his cleansing, hey, man, I'm sorry to tell you, brother, you got a couple new spots that we seen after we shaved your head. Then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the scowl be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for the yellow hair. I don't even got to look for your original spot, because remember that place where we shaved that right here? So we left all this, but we shaved all the rest of your head off, right? So this part, it didn't go down in the skin, and you didn't get a yellow hair, but unfortunately, I did find another spot over here. So you got another spot behind your ear. You could barely see it because I had to shave your head, and I had to move behind your ear. And I want to remind you, wash the back of your ear. The back of your ear gets really hot. I just want to remind you. Gross. So we found a new spot right here. So now, since we found a new spot, I don't got to check and see for yellow hair. You unclean, brother. You have an infection. Verse 37. But if the skull be in his sight at a stay, and that there is a black hair grown therein, the scowl is healed. He is clean. So listen, that thing that you had right here, after we shaved the rest of your hair, okay, it didn't go deeper. I didn't find any other infections anywhere else. And good news, we got black hair growing out of where that little thing is. So that's good, man. You okay? All right. All right. Excellent. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 38. If a man also or a woman have in the skin of his flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, that would be pretty easy to see on a black person, don't you think? Right. Then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of the flesh be darkish white, it is a frecklish spot that groweth in the skin. He is clean. Oh, so it's okay to have freckles. So we're not unclean if you have freckles. All right, that's okay. And a man whose hair is falling off of his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. Oh, goodness gracious. So I'm okay. Just a little receding hairline. I'm going to do the swoop gesture, and I'm going to hope that this kind of covers things, but at least I'm not unclean. So if you're going bald, you're not unclean. That's fine. Verse 41. And he that hath hair that is fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet he is clean. Receding hairline is just fine. Verse 42. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, so you're going bald, brother, that's okay. But that white spot in your head is not okay. A white or reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in the bald forehead, it is as a leprosy appeareth in the skin of his flesh. He is a leprous man. He is unclean. Let me read that verse again, verse 43. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appeareth in the flesh, in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man. He is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. His plague is in his head. Verse 54. And the leopard in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare. And he shall put a covering on his upper lip and shall cry, unclean, unclean. You know why? Because he's infectious. So when you're unclean, it is your obligation to let other people know. So, yo, tell me, like when I hit my brother, when we had a contract, yo, I'm unclean. Yo, unclean. Tell me, yo, unclean, bro. They be like, oh yeah, we be doing air daps. We be like, okay, well, okay, air hugs. But one thing we do is we respect each other. You got men in the warehouse doing this better than women. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone. Without the camp shall his habitation be. Why? So I don't make nobody else unclean. The garment also that had the plague of leprosy in it, whether it be woolen or garment or linen garment, whether it be in the warp or the wolf linen or woolen, whether it be in the skin or anything made in the skin, and if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the wolf or in anything of the skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and it should be showed to the priest. So if you have clothes that have mold in them, that's what this is talking about. Now it's talking about if you got moldy clothes. Moldy clothes can make you sick. Not just respiratory, you get physical infection. Before you know it, be walking around with your head uncovered, unclean. What happened? I didn't do my laundry. All right, Leviticus chapter 13, verse 50. And the priest shall look upon the plague and shut it up that hath the plague 7 days. And he shall look upon the plague on the 7th day. And if the plague in the garment, either or in the warp or in the wolf or in the skin or in any work that is made in the skin, the plague is a fretting leprosy. It is unclean. Or in other words, you can't get this mold, this mildew out. Your garment is decaying. It's called fretting. All right. It's a fretting. It means it's aggressive. He shall therefore burn that garment. I don't need it. It's got some type of we call it parasite, some type of you gotta look at it like that, some type of that's eating away at it, right? Whether in the warp or the wolf or the woolen linen or in anything of the skin wherein the plague is, it is a fretting leprosy. It shall be burnt in the fire. And if the priest look and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the warp or the wolf or in any of the skin, even the priest shall command that they wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look upon the plague after that it is washed. And behold, if the plague have not changed its color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt burn it in the fire. It is a fretting inward, whether it be bare within or without. And we only have 4 more verses. 4 more verses of this week's Torah portion reading, and we would have completed an entire segment of being students and teachers and doing what our forefathers did. You got to think about this. The men of the Most High stood up for hours to read the Torah. I'm going to get rid of this chair. This is a wonderful chair. It's all beastie. It's all big and broad and beautiful. This chair's antique chair. But it ain't a teaching chair. This chair about to give me backiotomy. This chair got to go. So let's finish reading. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 56. We're going to have 4 more verses. And if the priest look, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the wolf. And if it appears still in the garment, either in the warp or the wolf, or anything of the skin, it is a spreading plague. Thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. And the garments, either the warp or the wolf, or whatsoever thing the skin it be, which thou shalt wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed a second time, and it shall be clean. I go to thrift stores a lot. I go to thrift stores a lot, and I cannot get a garment from a thrift store. And you know, some people just put it on. I can't do that. It automatically makes me itch. It's like my body sets off an alarm and be like, take that off, take that off, take that off. For some reason, I can't buy a hat unless it's a brand new hat. If it's brand new, I can be like, oh yeah, I can fit. I can't buy a hat and just put it on my head. It itches, unless it's like I said, brand new. But there are microcobrial, microscopic, all different type of things that we don't want to have no parts to do with. If Yahweh tells you to wash your body after sex, wash your clothes, to wash everything. He gives us 1 day, 7 days, 30 and 3 days. The Most High teaches these things, and now it's time for us to learn it. These are our last 2 verses, and I appreciate you all. It was nice getting woke up. I haven't talked like this in a while. Salute to our brother Kazakh, One West salute. Salute to our elder Maharika, our brother Loopy Lane Genesis. All right, our brother Imnam. All right, our brother Masha Rashid King Nellums, the Torah twins, our Levite brothers. All right, and salute to all you women in Yashala that's faithful and consistent and diligent to Yahweh first. Salute to all you women. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 58. And the garment, either the warp or wolf, or whatsoever thing the skin it be, which thou shalt wash. If the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the second time, and he shall be clean. Last verse. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in the garment of woolen or linen, either in the warp or wolf, or anything of skins, to pronounce it clean or to pronounce it unclean. Repeat after me. Kal Asherah, the body of Yahweh, Na'isha, or Nashemai. All that Yahweh said will we do in here. I want to say Tawada to everybody for keeping this week's Torah portion, for spending this Pa'im, this Mashpachat Pa'im, this family time. I want to say Tawada to everybody for spending time to learn. And I want to encourage you to do more. And also, go with this week's Torah portion. With this week's Torah portion, if you look into Flavius Josephus, you're going to get a lot more information. And I really want to do that. I really want to do that. All right. So with that being said, Yabra Kami Abba Shem Yashai has been a blessing minister and teaching with you all. It's your brother Isaiah Bani Yashai, also known as Crumworm in Hebrew, Isaiah Yashai.